What a nice day to be a formica ant. I hope no polyergus ants come to slave my whole colony. No! No! Alright, and welcome to the very first video of Welcome Outside. Today, let's talk ant slavery. Alright. Okay, I know some of you might be laughing behind the screen right now. But yeah, we're going to talk about ant slavery. We're going to talk about how some species of ants raid and invade other ants' colony, steal their larvae, and to summarize all of it, brainwash them into working for them and do all the labor, building complex structures for their colony, going out hunting for food, and then bringing it back to feed it to them, since they can't really do much for themselves. I mean, they could, but I mean, that's why you have a slave. Am I right? Okay, let's talk about the slave-making ants or slaver ants. They are a brood of parasites, a colony of just pure parasites, hunting machines. They resemble kind of look like a fire ant, I guess. Where I live, they're not really native. I don't think so, at least. But they could probably be mistaken for fire ants. I'm not sure, so just keep an eye out. What they will do is they'll send a specialized ant, a scout, scour the whole area around their colony, find another species. Most of the time, it's a species called the Formica species. It's like a small, kind of like a blackish, brownish colored ant. Okay, that sounds kind of racist, alright? But the species that we're talking about, the slaver ant, is the Polyergus. They'll send out as soon as the scout finds a Formica colony. They will leave a path of special pheromones leading them towards the Formica's colony site. And from there, I think you know what happens. They'll alert the colony, bring in soldiers, and to not get attacked by the other colony, what they do is they have a very special pheromone. As they're entering the colony, they'll spray it everywhere, and it will basically confuse all of the Formica ants into basically just confusing them, turning off their kill switch, basically just causing them to disperse and run around instead of forming like I would call it a war strategy to try to protect their nest. And that's what they'll do. So as they're going in, everything it'll be just pure chaos. The Formica ants will be running everywhere, being let loose. And as that's happening, the Polyergus, or the slaver ant, that's breaching into the Formica ants colony, will basically just go around deeper and deeper into the nest, trying to find the the nursery site where they keep all of the larvae, all the eggs, all the pupa. They'll take most of them, but their plan isn't to end the whole colony, because they want to keep coming back and back again for more and more and more slaves. See, they're pretty smart. Even insects can be smart. And as they reach back to the colony, they will douse all of their findings and their treasure, a colony's most valuable treasure, their pupa, their larvae, their eggs. All of that is a colony's most precious stash. It's their treasure, it's their gold, it's their money, their wealth. Everything they need is with the larvae. And what they'll do, as soon as they get them to their colony, the Polyergus will douse them in layers and layers and layers of pheromones. So as they mature, they'll think that they are a part of the Polyergus. Since ants are blind, they don't see a use for their eyes, and so they communicate through pheromones, and that's what basically happens. They'll douse them until they think that they're a part of the colony, even though they're a completely different species of ants in a stranger's house. It's like just walking into someone's house and they're like, they cover you in their scent, their perfume, or whatever. And then you start to think about, you think that you're a part of their family now. Okay, that kind of didn't make sense, but you get what I'm saying. You get the gist of it. And as they grow up and they mature, the ants will take orders from the very queens, the workers, sending them out to do their chores and whatnot. And that's basically what happens. That's just to cover it up, to summarize it. And there's also a few other ways that could be infiltrated. That was the first. The second is around when there's big floods and a big rain. Most of the time, ants, I think most of you, maybe this happened to some of you, where there'll be just tons of ants just flying everywhere, like tiny little bugs with wings. They'll go flying everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's what termites do, if I'm not mistaken. So after a big rain or flood, they'll all come out, they'll emerge from the ground, and they'll start flying to go colonize new areas. Sometimes the queen Polyergus lands in a Formica colony. And from there, she will go in, just bulldozing through everyone, and create the same pheromones the other workers used. As I explained before, she'll use those pheromones too, to disperse them and confuse them. As she reaches the queen of the Formica ants, they will have a they'll have a death battle, a death match, to see who's the surviving queen. But here's where it gets pretty. It's like a disadvantage for the Formica. Formicas are I guess you could say they're like a worker type with smaller mandibles, but Polyergus ants have massive mandibles, basically putting the Formica queen to a very big disadvantage. And she has a very big damage advantage, actually, and the Polyergus will just rip her up to shreds. And if she's the declared winner, she will all of the other Formica ants will surround her, and she will spray them with pheromones. And that's just to cover up what happens. But if it doesn't go as planned, the Formica colony is going to just shred her up into pieces. They'll rip her limb by limb. And that's our talk for the slaver ants. In my videos, I'm not gonna get too in depth unless somebody asks me a question in the comments. I can clarify for it. And that's pretty much what happens. Alright, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.